Hey guys, okay, so I finally sat down and filmed this tutorial for you. I've posted this makeup look on my Instagram page a few times now, and it's been a pretty big hit. I absolutely love it. I think it's super fun and kind of festive because of the silver sparkly eyes. So I think that honestly, like, I'll probably wear this makeup look for New Year's. I'm really excited about it. So if you want to see how to get this look right here, just keep watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and get started. I've completed my face and my eyebrows and everything, so we can focus on the eyes. I'm taking these two palettes by Morphe Brushes, the 35O palette and the 35N palette. And the reason why I'm using both is because the 35O doesn't have the purple shades that I wanted, and the 35N is all matte, so it didn't have the shimmery highlighting shades that I plan on using later. So yeah. So I'm taking this first transition shade that I pointed to. It's a very neutral tan shade on this Morphe blending brush. It's very similar to their M441 or M433. I can't remember which one, but it's really similar to those. So I blend that using windshield wiper motions and then circular motions to buff out any harsh lines. I picked up this second transition shade, which is a little deeper and a little warmer, and do the same exact thing. I use windshield wiper motions and then circular motions to blend it out. And you don't see me doing it on my other eye because I skipped through it. So then I'm going to be picking up this shadow, which is a little bit darker. These are the three transition shade shadows that I usually, I use on a daily basis. So pretty much every video you will see me using these ones as my transition shade. I do deposit this one a little heavier on the outer corner, and then as that product leaves my brush, I blend it inward a little bit more. So now I'm using the 35N palette. I picked up my E.L.F. eyeshadow C brush, which is a very dense brush, perfect for packing on color. I take the deep plum purple shade in the 35N palette and I deposit that on the outer half of my eyelid. So yeah, sorry. And then I'm taking the Morphe blending brush again and pretty much sweep away that all that product. I don't want any harsh lines. If you know me by now, you know that I don't like harsh lines. So I blend it out so there's no harsh lines, and then I keep going back in, packing on color, blending it out, packing on color, blending it out until it's as intense as I would like it to be. So you can do this as many times as you want. I did go ahead and finish the other side, and now I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadow in Liquid Diamond. This is pretty much the star of the show today. Out of the few that I picked up, this is the one that I thought I would like the least, and it's actually the one that I like the most and use the most often. I find that happens a lot. And then I'm picking up the, it's like a flat concealer brush, also by Morphe, of course, and I wet it down with the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix Setting Spray, which really helps pack the shadow on really densely, and then it just helps with the shine, with making the product really it basically intensifies it like a bunch. So I start on the inner corner because that's where I want it the most intense, and then start to go towards the middle of my eyelid, and then I wipe my brush off on a towel a little bit so I can blend out the line. And then the same thing on the other side. I love this eyeshadow. It's very pretty, especially with these purple shadows smoking it out, because it does reflect a little bit of purple and a little bit of blue, so I think it's really nice. And then I took this bright purple and then the deep plum again from the 35N palette mixed together on this C brush, and I pack that on the outer half again. So then I can blend out the silver shadow. So once I pack it on, I take the Morphe blending brush again and seriously barely even touch my lid right at that line and blend the shadows together. I mean, barely touched my lid. Then I had some purple that made its way up to my eyebrow a little too much, so I took some white shadow on the C brush to clean it up. Nice little trick. Now I'm taking the E.L.F. contour brush, which is a dome-shaped eyeshadow brush, so I honestly would not recommend using it for this because it's not a proper shape for your lower lash line, but it is what it is. So I dipped that into the first two transition shades from Oh, I guess I actually used the 35N palette, but they're the same colors that I would take from the first two transition shades that I used in the 35O palette, same colors. I took those to buffer on my lower lash line, and I'm taking the E.L.F. smudge brush. Well, I suppose I'm throwing it actually. But I'm taking that, dipping it into the plum shade again, and really tightly pushing that on my lower lash line. I don't want this shadow to drop too far down, because then it looks like we got punched in the face, and that's not very cute. And then I took a pointed blending brush by Morphe, super tiny brush. First I took it clean to blend out the purple eyeshadow, and then it was just going down a little too far, so I put that first tan transition shade on it to help lighten up the purple shadow a little bit on my lower lash line. And then I'm taking the Infallible eyeshadow again with this teeny tiny brush by Morphe. Pretty sure it's a lip brush, but I usually use it to highlight. And I'm putting this on the inner half of my lower lash line to really intensify that inner corner. And then I'm taking the second and third shade in the 35O palette. They're super light, like pale pink, champagne-y, like highlighting shades. So I'm using them to highlight my brow bone. And then I'm going to be taking this single eyeshadow that I got in an Ipsy bag. It's by Ofra Cosmetics. It's another really pretty champagne shade. It's just a little more intense. It's called Bliss, and I'm putting that on the inner corner to give a really intense inner corner highlight. Now I started to take the Covergirl Ink It Crayon eyeliner, or eyeliner crayon, whatever, in charcoal ink, and then I realized that I forgot to curl my lashes. So I'm going to curl them real quick, and then I'm going to use that CoverGirl eyeliner to tightline. This one, it's the first time that I'm using this one. I just recently got it from my friend Danielle as one of my Christmas presents. Thank you, Danielle. So I decided I would use it to tightline. I specifically really like that it was a charcoal shade and not black, especially with this kind of a smoky eye when I'm not doing like a winged liner on top. I really prefer like a gray toned liner, especially when I'm about to poke myself in the eye, you know? It just looks less harsh. Now I'm using the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara to coat my lashes. You can use whatever you'd like. I just find that this mascara works the best for me. It's my favorite mascara, hands down. I've tried a lot, and this is my absolute favorite. Now I'm taking the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm going to tap some of the powder into the lid and then kind of tap it out again. I'm using my damp beauty blender. This is technically the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge, I think is what it's called, Miracle Complexion Sponge or something. I'm not sure. And I'm using that to apply the setting powder on my under eye, the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my chin, a little bit in the center of my forehead, and then right underneath my contour on my jawline. This is just going to brighten up these areas and also clean up any shadows or powders that have fallen down. It really helps strengthen your contour as well. So then I usually sit for about 3 minutes and let it bake. I get really bored. And then once 3 minutes are up, I take this E.L.F. small tapered brush with a little bit of powder on it and blend out this powder. So as you can see, it helped brighten up those areas, and it just makes the skin look flawless. I swear, getting this powder has changed my makeup game. Now I'm taking the Morphe Brushes 9B Blush Palette using my E.L.F. blush brush. And I'm going to be dipping it into the lightest shade in the palette, which is like a really light, peachy, dusty rose shade. I don't really know how to describe it, but it's beautiful. I really like a lighter cheek with such an intense eye. I don't want bright pink on the cheeks with a super intense smoky eye, so I just wanted to keep it light and pretty. And then I'm using the MaryLou Manizer highlight by the Balm Cosmetics with this Morphe brush. I believe it is M601. Yes, that is what it is. It's just a nice fan brush. I decided to use this to highlight today. Usually I would just use, I've got 2 blush brushes, so I'd usually use the other one, but I decided to use this one today. So I apply that on the tops of my cheekbones and then bring it down a little bit on the apples of my cheeks. I use it to highlight the tip of my nose and a little bit on the bridge of my nose. And then I got a little extreme. I like to highlight my Cupid's bow, and I knew that once I started putting my lip color on, I would start to lose that highlight, so I made it super intense. Like, the astronauts could probably see it from space. Intense. I mean, like, look at that. Look, it's a lot. Look at all that glow. Oh, yes, yes. I was admiring myself a little bit, but, you know, whatever. So now I'm taking the new NYX Liquid Suede Cream Lipsticks. Kind of a mouthful. They're basically a liquid lipstick, but they're amazing. They're so comfortable to wear. I will have a swatch video and review up of them here soon. I'm taking 2 shades and then a third, which wasn't part of the original plan. This first shade is called Vintage, which is a really pretty, like purpley red color, but has a little bit of like a mauve-y brown tone to it. I'm using that to basically line my lips and then make it really dark on the outer corners. I was kind of making fun of myself because I looked weird. And now I'm taking the shade Soft Spoken, which is definitely like a mauve-y pink with brown undertones. And I put that in the center of my lid and then up on my Cupid's bow. Not where I highlight, but like on the actual, you know, lip portion. And then I took Vintage again to intensify the outer corners and realized that the center just was not as bright as I wanted it to be. So I took Sandstorm, which is very, very like brown. It's basically like a tan liquid lipstick. It's the best way I can describe it. And I just put that on the center of my lid and used my finger to blend it out, which really helped make it a little bit lighter on camera. I just felt like on camera you really couldn't tell what that, like the center of my lips, excuse me, were lighter than the outer corners. So I thought that this really helped give me that ombre effect I was going for. This is the final look. I forgot to spray my face, but that's okay. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Okay guys, so that is it for this tutorial. If you liked this makeup look, make sure to thumbs up on the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. Also follow me on all my social medias. I have all the information in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching and so much for supporting me. I know that I've been pretty absent on my channel lately. You know, as the semester is coming to a close this fall, I was really feeling it. I was in some pretty tough classes, and I'm going to be in some pretty tough classes again this semester. But after this semester, I'll be graduating, so hopefully during the summer and then next year, then I can really focus more on YouTube, which I'm very excited about because, you know, I really enjoy this, and I really enjoy filming the videos and like having you guys watch my content and everything, and I just love all the feedback and the support that I get from you guys. Alright, as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.